Hey everybody, I'm going to talk about polynomials today. What the heck is a polynomial? This will cover 3 Khan Academy assignments and basically the whole day today. So if you can focus on this, you'll kill it. Polynomial is anything with coefficients and variables. So it's an expression with x's or y's and numbers on it as well. So this is an example of a polynomial. 5x to the fourth plus 3x squared minus 6. I underlined them in blue because each blue is a term. It's called a term. This has 3 terms in it. So things that are hard to people often mistake. They don't think these are allowed, but oftentimes they really are. You can have more than one variable, like 5xy plus 3x plus 5z. That's actually okay. It would psych people out, but that's okay. Most things are okay in a polynomial. Generally, if you think it's good, as long as it's not on the bad list that I'm going to show in a second, it's still good. So it has this, you can have as many terms as you want. So I can have like 15 different blue underline terms if I want. It's still good. You don't have to have every power. I skipped a third power there. It's fine. You can have a fraction or decimal be a coefficient. So it doesn't have to just be 5, 3, and negative 6. I could have like 1.2x, or square root of 3 times x, or 1/2 x, or x over 2 is the same thing as 1/2 x. That's good. Solo terms like negative 6 is fair game. If just the number 6, that's actually considered a polynomial. The other thing that I didn't say is whole number powers. It's got to have whole number powers. That's kind of covered in the cans though. There's no negative powers, no decimal powers, or fraction powers. So all those are off limits. Can't have a variable in the denominator. Technically the same thing as a negative power, but that's a later lesson. No square roots on the variable itself. Also the same thing as fraction powers. But again, that's a later lesson. So if you see any weird negatives, denominators, square roots, fractions in the powers, it's a no-go. Everything else pretty much fair game. So that's what a polynomial is. Now we go into names based on number of terms. So a monomial is a polynomial with one term. I'm going to use a purple pen and underline these things. One term, one term, one term. Yeah, it's a bunch of things multiplied, still counts as one term. Whereas a binomial, that's the second one, is 2 terms. 1, 2. 1, 2. It's like 2 monomials, but stuck together with a plus or a minus sign. And then a trinomial, you kind of get in the naming scheme now. Mono means 1, bi means 2, like bicycle. Tri means 3, like tricycle. 1, 2, 3 terms. The 3 monomials stuck together with plus or minus signs. 1, 2, 3. It's a trinomial. Hopefully you can get where 4 and 5 are going to go, but you know. The last piece of vocab we did today, and this again I help you with 3 Khan Academy assignments. A few extra vocab words. Standard form means the powers are in the most to least order. This technically is a power of 1, and this has a x to the 0, which is just 1 on it. So power of 0 on the variable. So it's biggest to smallest, 3, 1, 0. That's the right order. Leading coefficient. Well, actually, let's first talk about constant and coefficient. A constant is a standalone term. It's constant because it's not changing. A coefficient is a number that's attached to it. Co means with, so it's a number that's with the variable. So constant is purple, coefficient is red. A leading coefficient is going to be the first one. That's if they're written in standard form. As long as it's written right, it's going to be the first one you see. And the last thing that really matters is degree. I don't care as much about the perfect names. We talked about them in class. You can look back if you really want to know, like a degree 0 is a constant and all that. Less important. What's really important is you know what a degree is. The highest power in the polynomial is a degree. So this one, highest power is 3. This is degree 3. It says it right here. This is important because different degree polynomials act very differently when you graph them and the way you do math with them. So it's important to be able to distinguish what degree is. Anyway, thanks for listening. Have a good one, everybody.